This is my 30th year at the museum. I am responsible for the collection of furniture, textiles, clothing, decorative arts, silver articles, part of the photography collection, toys, indigenous art, and that sort of work. Material history for me means objects that we used in everyday life. They are things that we find in homes. And you see, textiles are a big part of domestic life. And at the museum, textiles also provide a window into the life of women. Most of the items in our collection are women's clothing and articles made by women, knitting, hooked mats, quilts, and woven covers. Things like that. I started out organizing the textile collection here at the museum, and that's when I discovered the diversity and the importance of the objects we had here. The museum was asked to bring one of the hooked rugs to an exhibition in Fredericton. And it was a rug made by Abigail Smith that is here at the museum. It is the oldest rug here, and this is where, at this exhibition, I could see the love rug hookers had for this object. And it was really the first time I realized how much power an object could have. For the New Brunswick Museum, textiles and rugs are both important. You know, we have a small collection of hooked mats. Here at the museum, we only have 25 mats. It's a small part of my responsibilities, but it is a part that is always sought after by the public and for illustrations in documents and books on mat hooking. The history of mat hooking is rather mysterious because we don't really know when hooked mats first arrived in New Brunswick. The evidence we have tends to confirm that it was probably in the mid-19th century, and that the mats we have at the museum were from that period. The mats in the museum's collection are probably from living rooms, mats that weren't used in every day in the kitchen or the doorstep, that sort of thing. So the collection may not give the full story, and that's why we wanted to do more research on mat hooking. The oldest hook mats at the museum give us an idea of where patterns came from, the materials that were used, wool or rags, the size, the scenes, what was kept by families, and what stories that go along with the mats. And you know, we have Abigail Smith's hooked mat, which was made when she was 13 years old. That's something which, how should I put it? That it was a surprise to learn that it was made by such a young girl. We also have two very rare mats. They were made with corn husks. There are only two mats of this sort that have survived anywhere in the province. This shows that these objects, especially these three examples, were kept by families that had them because they were precious to them when they were made. That's not the case for the mats that were used every day. I think it's important to find out more about the hooked mats that are in private collections. Because in the public collections, like the museums, we don't have a lot of examples of them. We can't really find out much about how they were made in different areas because we don't have enough information yet. Life and family are strong. The connection between family and the idea of place, where people come from, explains why people kept things like that. It may be a bit nostalgic, but I think that maybe it is a lot has changed in this population. People from rural areas left to go to work in the city. And maybe mat hooking has survived because it is a way of appreciating the past and a different way of life.